As of late, I will admit that one of the deepest feelings that I know I've had, one of the deepest problems I've had for many years, my excessive loneliness, is creeping up on me again. And if anything, it has become stronger in some senses of the word. And it leaves me speechless sometimes. How lonely it is. How saddening it is to be in that state. Feeling like you'll find not even a friend. Feeling like there's no one around to truly get you. Someone who will ever truly know your voice. To hear you out when times are rough. To truly know the vulnerable side of you. That we have to only rely on ourselves. Like so many say we have to. That these people, everyone around us, can't help us. So we can only help ourselves. And I get this. Friends, family, they can help you with some of your problems, yes. Maybe be there on the tougher side of problems that you might be having and try to help you work through it from a mental capacity, but to say that they should become your therapist is another thing. People don't want to become your therapist. They don't want you to exactly always rely on them to help with your mental state. That's not only draining for them, but it even starts to weigh on you once you realize, hey, I'm relying on this person for all of my sanity. That every single problem is just forcibly put upon them. That they are taking the brunt of my pain when they probably shouldn't have to, because we all have our own battles, no matter how tough and how different they are from one another. This recording, I don't so much know where it's going. Like, just to say it, like an old Russian song. Well, it's not too old, but that translated to, my head is spinning like a screw. Quite frankly, every single day, my head is spinning like a screw. And I just don't know how to bloody stop it. So many thoughts that, just to cope with it, my mind's shutting down. Just like finals from college, my body is just shutting down emotionally, making me emotionally numb to all the pain. To the point where my head's clear, but there's a wild demon just screaming its head off in the dark recesses of it all, caged like a filthy animal. Between everything, the pressure of finding something, the pressure to work, to make money, to make ends meet at the end of the day, not having to rely on your parents anymore, not having to rely on others as much, being able to be self-sufficient every single day. The pressure to make friends, especially from a business setting. There are many things that I probably should address, and maybe this recording will be more of the ramblings of that. For one, I've created this channel, figuring out how the world works, or whatever I called it, mainly as a self-exercise to sort of aid me. I've been recording my voice and just having basically this discography just lingering on my phone. And now I think I'm to a point, if it's not too well telling of where I'm located, what I do, who I'm with, who I live with, I decided to make it more as an exercise. Get out my thoughts, get out my feelings. Something that I've just kept hidden for so long. Just sort of talking about different aspects of my life. Just wanting to hear even myself think in a more, how you say, different setting. The point of these recordings is just to get my thoughts across. No matter how chaotic they are my words. They are my thoughts. And I've tried journaling, things like that. The problem is they are kind of rather slow, and to get your thoughts across, well, it takes time to write. This does not take time, and the notes come, quite frankly, right to you, as you need them. And with these recordings, and because I am deeming it more of an exercise, I don't really think I'm gonna bother to like edit fully, because that's not the intent of it. It's just a way for me to have a voice, to sort of document it, and maybe help people as well with it, for the very few that do listen to my words. I know more and more people are, well, it's just been around, where people just sit down and talk like this. They ramble on, you know, about their life, about what they want. Sometimes it's more aimed, sometimes it's very short and brief. And really, that's kind of the point of this. Not to see how many views it is, but just not to be afraid. To try and find some way to talk. And I guess by making it public instead of keeping it hidden on my phone, it's a way of just trying to vocalize it. Because I deem one of the many things I lack, probably the most major thing, is me being a very vocal person. Like, I can be very loud, very vocal by myself, like in these moments that I'm speaking. But I do want to know how far I can take my voice, how beautiful it can sound, just to get my thoughts across. I just want to know what it will be like, how it will go, what roads it can take me. And whether these recordings become choppy, whether these recordings become nothing, you know, I can at least say I tried. Like, as it stands, I don't really get views, you know? And that's not the point. These are to myself. Sort of like Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. It was made for him and him only. Just as these are my recordings, and not really made for anyone else, besides for myself, to provide clarity, and maybe just a sense of comfort or solace in rougher times. Such as now when things are just so uncertain. When I'm wishing just to stop the pounding, to stop my head from spinning like a screw, from thinking about the things that I wish, from talking about it so vastly. And whether these ramblings make any sense, who really cares? And whether I actually go back and listen to these recordings at all, I don't really know if I'm going to do that. But the point is, I'm practicing my voice. I'm finding it. I'm trying to make it into something I want it to be. And I don't know if this goes far enough. Maybe I will do facial, you know, finally showing off my face. But for now, if this goes nowheres, let people hear the voice that I command, the voice that I project among a crowd. But just to give some background on basically who I am a college student that's just trying to find his way in the world. Becoming a business major at this given moment, who's kind of uncertain about everything he's doing at the moment, doesn't know the job that he wants, knows basically not even many things that he likes. Like, there are the occasional things like I know, like my very deep interest in the automobile, whatever you want to call it, my small habits that I do, trying to fill voids within myself as well. Like by replacing religion with philosophy like Stoicism. I've practiced probably for more than a year now. Have been even signed up to things like the daily Stoic emails, reading those every single day. And really, if I've missed it, it's only been maybe like 1 or 2 times as of this given recording. I'm trying to find my way, trying to find my voice, just trying to live my life, I guess, in the shadows. Because in college, I am not much of a person. I don't have friends, and I don't try to make friends. And most times I think I come off as very cold to people. And I've done it for many years like that. And as a result, I just go deeper into the studies. I try just to spend most of my time working on my education, I guess. And sometimes I like it, but other times I just wish that I could find something of a good life. To finally have the free time and the freedom that I yearn for. There's a lot on my mind. And chances are I am going to be very inconsistent with what I say, with what I post. Like, even if I don't even post beyond this recording, you never even know. I'm just trying to find a way to cope with life, with a lack of friends, with honestly just dealing with the voids that I know I have. Like, I'm not exactly in a bad location, not in a bad spot, but I'll say it like this. There are so many things I wish I could have that many other people I deem richer for. Like, I actually have cars and physical possessions that a lot of other people my age don't have. But what they have, which I've said before, makes them richer, is just being social and having those friends that you can rely on, that you come back to when times are hard, that you feel like you can talk to every single day, and just be yourself, your vulnerable self, with just being true. Just finding something in this fake world that is real. Seeing the reality of it all and playing into it. Wherever this goes anywhere, wherever my voice becomes heard, or fades into the shadows like every other thing out there, will be up to the algorithm and not my own doing, not my own control. Once the videos go out, they are beyond my control. And whether they are seen by people, it's beyond my control. So if you do listen to this, thank you. And just know it wasn't really meant for you, but for the speaker himself. And I hope these words find you well. Your days find you well. As times become something that we don't really know.